welcome to the Dakota Fundraising News Podcast. Today is Friday, August 8th. We are, as I say, each episode rolling through the summer. Couldn't be flying by faster. You know, they say if you're busy in the summer, you set yourself up for a nice and relaxing fall.
Yes.
I don't see that happening.
Never.
But we're staying busy all summer. We're staying busy all fall. We'll stay busy all winter, spring, and then we're back. So let's jump into it, though. We're going to kick off, as always, with our job and role changes. In this case, we have two from large broker-dealers and one that's a little different. So we have Christopher Badeau, who's transitioned from Morgan Stanley to JP Morgan, where he continues to serve as a financial advisor. Matt, you went through our financial advisor data on the episode earlier this week, so hopefully everyone's up to speed on that. We have a registered client associate who has joined RBC, coming over from UBS. That is Kathy Ann Rousseau. Very exciting. Kathy is based in New York City. And then finally, more on the fundraising and sales side, you have Patrick Gilligan, great first name, has transitioned from M3 Partners to Marubeni Corporation, where he now serves as the business development director in the New York City metro area. They are a global M&A conglomerate. I'm not totally sure what that means, but I'm excited to do a little more research.
Absolutely. Patrick's only a good name if they go by Pat.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That's got to be a key there. Jumping into the RIA merger and acquisitions and financial advisor moves, just a few to call out here. First, Jesse Anastasi launched Mavs Wealth Management Group in St. Petersburg, Florida. The firm has retained Charles Schwab as their custodian. So new shop down in St. Petersburg. Also, two RBC Capital Markets advisors registered Meadowbrook Advisors. I love that name. As an independent RIA in Bedminster, New Jersey. So the two folks, Ian Arbach, he's the principal and the CCO, and Greg Arbach is the principal of the firm. Just to note, they are a wholly owned subsidiary of two undisclosed holding companies. Third one to call out here, private equity-backed Wealth Enhancement Group closed the acquisition of a RIA based out of Gilbert, Arizona, called Manwaring Wealth Management. The practice, led by Joshua Manwaring as founder and wealth advisor, manages $164 million in client assets. The deal, which closed on July 31st, brings Wealth Enhancement's AUM to $117.8 billion. With that, just the three that we wanted to call out there. Pat, do you want to jump into some recent investments? You want me to run this? What do you want to do?
I'll take it.
Excellent.
We have Alameda County in San Francisco. Alameda County Employees Retirement System manages $12 billion. They use NEPC as a consultant. They are looking at a $225 million core real estate commitment goal for the second half of 2025 through first half of 2026. That is proposed by Callan, which is very exciting. That does help them maintain their 8.2% target to real estate. So we don't really have any official searches today to call out, but wanted to just go ahead and call that out. Something for our real estate firms to be aware of. New Jersey Division of Investment right across the bridge in Princeton. A little farther than across the bridge, but it was just in Princeton recently. New Jersey Division of Investments is committing $87 million each to two CVC funds. That is the Infrastructure Fund 8 and the Value Add Fund 4, as well as another $173.5 million to the fund's co-investment vehicle, based on a recommendation by investment staff and their real assets consultant, which is Axia, who they use for real assets and private credit. However, they do use Hamilton Lane for real estate and hedge funds. They are with Cliffwater. Vermont Pension Committee up in Burlington, which I hear is lovely in the summer. Have you ever been to Burlington?
No, but I was pretty close to it a couple days ago. I was up in Lake Saranac.
You're quite the skier, though.
I am.
And you've never been to...
No, not Burlington.
What's the place I'm thinking
I've driven through Burlington.
Where am I thinking of in Vermont?
Stowe.
Stowe. You've been there?
I have been to Stowe. Okemo as well. That's a bigger mountain. Stowe's a little bit smaller. I think better skiing in Stowe than Okemo. Okemo gets a little scrapey.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, here they're great in the summer. Burlington, Vermont, for the Vermont Pension Investment Committee, has approved recommendations by RBK to commit $60 million to Neuberger Berman Secondaries Opportunities Fund 5, and then $50 million to Harrison Street Real Estate Fund 10. You'll recall that they made a $20 million commitment to Neuberger Strategic Co-Invest Fund 5 way back in 2023. So re-up here with Neuberger Berman.
Let's go.
Some key takeaways for GPs and LPs, right? As we've gone through at length, the RIA channel continues to shock the amount of M&A activity that's happening.
What does that mean?
It just can't stop happening. Yeah. So you have these new RIAs like the ones we walked through today that are popping up, and then firms like Wealth Enhancement Group are slowly, rolling up AUM and going out, being backed by private equity, going out and acquiring more and more of these. So for fund managers, right, distribution dynamics are shifting. You can't ignore RIAs, and you need to know which ones are truly independent and which are plugged into larger platforms, which you can do in Dakota Marketplace. Matt, tell us about how we talk about aggregators in Marketplace.
Yeah, I think from a tracking standpoint, just keeping up to speed with all the consolidation. I mean, we send out a daily news email to everyone showing private wealth news items, and a big piece of that is mergers, acquisitions, the consolidation that's going on across these aggregators. Also, what a lot of people love in Marketplace, our parent account field. Mm-hmm. How we list it out, how it's easy to dissect a Hightower, a Dynasty, a Wealth Enhancement Group, specifically on the branch level, where their office is located, who's working at those offices, breaking out contacts appropriately. So no, the way we, organize and lay out all of the intel across these large consolidators, is very well received from our customers. So if you want to check out more and dive into that, let us know, and always feel free to reach out.
Yeah. Matt, why don't you just wrap us up today? Let's go through a couple of fundraising updates and then you can close.
Absolutely. I do want to call it one more thing. Institutional allocators are getting more selective, but Pat, they're not slowing down.
Right.
They are, from Vermont to New Jersey, we're seeing active commitments in infrastructure, secondaries, and real estate, but we're also seeing terminations. Yeah. Alameda County, for one example, right, considering dropping Franklin Templeton.
Yeah.
So I think for GPs, they should stay close to consultants and watch the performance optics of a lot of these funds, and LPs are leaning into targeted bets and not broad exposures. So just something to note there. And yeah, on the fundraising update side, LA-based private equity firm Butterfly received $527 million in commitments for a single asset continuation fund dedicated to Qdoba Restaurant Corporation, a franchisor in North America of Mexican fast food outlets. I think we all know Qdoba, Chipotle. Pat, preference?
Chipotle, by far.
I'm Qdoba. I like their queso very, very much. The fund received anchor commitment from Apollo Global Management sponsor and secondary solutions, with participation from other investors, including Paideswick Capital. So that's just one I wanted to note there. And of course, all these updates, whether they're on the RIA standpoint, institutional updates, GP fund updates, fundraising updates as a whole, you can find all of this, of course, in Dakota Marketplace within our platform. Next week, where are we going to be on Thursday, Pat?
Next week on Thursday, we're in Greenwich at Les Escales. Excellent. And then look out for early September in Dallas.
In Dallas, and then shortly after, LA as well.
Yep.
Well, fantastic. I think that's all we had to cover today. Of course, if you have questions around Dakota, reach out to myself, Pat, or our entire team here. But thank you all for listening in, and enjoy the weekend.
Yep. See you, everyone.
This episode is brought to you by Dakota Marketplace. Are you tired of constantly jumping between multiple databases and channels to find the right investment opportunities? Introducing Dakota Marketplace, the comprehensive institutional and intermediate database built by fundraisers for fundraisers. With Dakota Marketplace, you'll have access to all channels and asset classes in one place, saving you time and streamlining your fundraising process. Say goodbye to the frustration of searching through multiple databases, websites, Form ADVs, and say hello to a seamless and efficient fundraising experience. Sign up now and see the difference Dakota Marketplace can make for you. Visit dakota.com/Dakota-Marketplace today.